Alrighty, we're talking today to Mr. Tom Delaino, president of PJC, and we just got a couple of questions to ask you. The first question would be, how did you come to be president of PJC?
Well, we could do a history. Let's make it kind of brief. I graduated from a very small high school, and I mean very small. I went to the University of Florida as a freshman and probably needed a community college as much as anybody does for that transition process. And as I went through my career there, I discovered community colleges, and this was in the early 60s, and community colleges in the state of Florida, most of them were just getting formed. PJC is one of the four oldest, and so it'd been around quite a while, but down in the central part of the state there weren't any. And I thought, well, that's a great idea. Mm-hmm. And so I did a little study of it while I was doing my master's work. I went in the Air Force, and when I started to get out of the Air Force, I applied for the doctoral program at the University of Florida in higher ed administration with Dr. James Wattenbarger, who actually was the first director of the community college system for Florida. So as I worked with Dr. Wattenbarger, it became clear that that's what I wanted to do with my life. And so then for the next 30 years I've done that. I worked at Santa Fe Community College for 17 years, came up here as a vice president about 15 years ago, and then became president when Dr. Atwell unfortunately had a very serious illness and had to resign. And so that was the process. So I was selected for president a little over 5 years ago.
What is one of the most memorable moments that you have here at PJC?
That's hard. I love PJC. I love the role it plays in the community. Clearly, being selected as president and going through an inauguration is a very impressive thing for a person who came from Cedar Key, Florida, and didn't anticipate that type of event in his life. So clearly that. I've worked with the faculty very closely since I arrived here in various roles, and being able to have that relationship with faculty is important. The fact that this feels so much like home. I mean, PJC is home, and that just feels good too. So all of those things add together to have made this a great experience for me.
What is your most proud accomplishment here at PJC?
Again, we could talk about buildings or gifts to the foundation, but I think the thing I'm proudest of is how we function as a unit, how our career employees, I've always been an official rep, and even after I became president, I kept that role of being the official rep to the Career Service Council, because I think it's important that we have a team, a sense of all of us working together to accomplish the needs of our students. And not just faculty, not just the academic administration, not just student affairs, but all of us being part. And now we've developed the concept of a learning-centered college. It doesn't change who we are or what we do, but just the discussion of the fact that we all are responsible for creating an environment in which learning takes place. And whether that's the facility, the people who keep them clean, the people who cut the grass, whether it's the faculty member in direct contact with the student. And I think that's what I'm proudest of, is that we actually do that. We don't just talk about it, but we do it.
Is there anything that you wish you could change about PJC?
I wish we had more money. I do. I think that our people do a tremendous lot with very little resources. The state of Florida just is a very low taxing state. There's not a lot of dollars available, and we don't get our fair share in my mind. I think we're constantly struggling to do the job that needs more resources, and that costs our employees. As much as we love being here, we also need to pay our employees enough so that they are able to carry on their life and meet all those needs that they have. And so I'm always disappointed that we don't have the resources. We don't always have the resources for the students. I'd love to have more scholarships available, more resources to so that our students have everything they need while they're going through the process. I think the college is great. I think we do a great job. But if I wanted to change something, I'd throw a few more $1 million into our budget so we could really do a better job.
As president of PJC, do you feel there's maybe some unfinished business that you don't have?
Yeah, I'm trying my best to create as much furor over future as I can just before I leave. Make sure there's plenty for the next leadership of the college to have. We're developing a public safety academy. We received a phenomenally creative grant from the county for $11 million, got it matched by the state, so we're going to build a $22 million facility. That is a huge undertaking. It'll move us into the north part of the county where we're not currently represented. We have 104 acres down on Highway 98 between Gulf Breeze and Navarre, and I would love to have some resources to start building there. I mean, that's a future site, but I'm working hard on a joint use proposal with Santa Rosa County Schools so we could at least get some infrastructure in place and some building to start there. Our performing arts, the Ashmore, we're planning on doing some renovations there. I'd love to get some resources to make that into a more significant facility. That's a great program that needs a better facility, and we're going to do some of that. So I'm just trying my best to get everything up in the air, so there's just plenty going on when I start to leave.
Wow. Finally, what advice or what would you tell the next president that he should maybe focus on for the up and coming year?
Yeah. I think when I took over PJC, I knew it was a great college. And I knew there was great faculty and great employees, and so I felt no need to disturb it. And if I had to give a new leader some advice, I'd say spend some time getting to know the PJC, getting to know the tradition of PJC, getting to know the employees of PJC, get a sense of what it means to this community. And then I'm not naive enough to think that there aren't some ways it could improve, that there aren't things that we need to do to move us forward. But I think that because we are such a great college, because we've done such great work, and historically, that what we need to do is make sure that we study our history before we move too rapidly forward. And and maybe that's because I'm slow in everything I do, but I sometimes think slow is good because you need to know your base before you move.
Well, thank you for taking time out to talk to us.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming by.
Oh.
All right.